Welcome back to the channel, everybody. So I'm back here in the white shop. Today it's not as cold as it was last week. Last week it was minus 24. If you haven't seen that video, I'll pop a link up here in the corner. Today we're at about minus 8, minus 10, and we're going to be delving into the world of winter landscape photography, and I'm going to share some of my tips that hopefully help you guys out when you get out in the cold. Now when I go out hiking, and I'm talking specifically from my batteries that I have in my camera, and not the camera that I'm recording on, which is consistently out in the cold, the ones I'm actually taking pictures on. So I keep them close to my body. So right in here, I have a little pouch, and that's where I keep my batteries. So they're close to my body heat, they're keeping warm. If I was to leave them in my camera and in my bag, they might be charged at 100% when I leave the house, but by the time I get out to take a shot in minus 24, they're going to be whittled down to about 50%. So one of the key elements to winter landscape photography is embracing the cold. Now, it might sound obvious, but it is crucial. You're going to want to dress in layers and protect your gear. Now, today I'm wearing 3 layers. I'm wearing a base layer on the bottom, long johns, a pair of pants, and ski pants on top of that. Socks, you want a good pair of wool socks, and on my feet I'm wearing a pair of winter waterproof hiking boots by Timberland. I'll put a link in the description below for them. So bottom is nice and warm. Up top I got another Under Armour base layer. I'm wearing a fleeced top, and then I'm wearing my winter jacket, which is protecting me from the wind. I got a good neck warmer on, a beanie hat, toque, depending on where you are in the world, and a good pair of photography gloves. These photography gloves are from Valorette, and I'm able to pull back and they're actually on magnets as well, but I'm able to pull back the tips and the thumbs, allowing me to access all the finicky dials on the camera, but also keeping my hands warm. So yeah, when you're warm and comfortable, you can be outside in the elements a lot longer, exploring more, getting more and better pictures. Unlike me last week when I was super cold and I just decided to pack it up and head home. During winter we get blankets of snow, water freezes, so it can be a little bit difficult, but try and find a pool of water. So if you've got a mountain in the background where you can get a reflection of that mountain in the water and into your scene. That kind of goes hand in hand with composition. You might have to move around quite a bit in order to be able to get whatever subject that you were trying to shoot in the reflection. But yeah, experiment with reflections. Oh, what a beautiful day. What a beautiful day. It's cold, but it's not minus 24. And there isn't a huge amount of wind, so I'm pretty happy. Okay, so another tip is to play with contrast. Now, this can be color contrast where you find a splash of red, blue, or green against a white background, but it can also be tonal contrast, such as a splash of darkness against the bright snow. So look for something that stands out from the white snow and experiment with composition to emphasize these contrasts and add depth to your photos. Focus on the details. Zoom in on those frozen branches, frozen leaves, and use a macro lens if you need to. Yeah. Let's go see if we can find an image as we're talking about details. See those reflections I'm talking about? There's definitely some shots here, I think. Talking about details. Nice and foggy. There's a piece of wood going across from the rock / ice that I'm currently standing on. Kind of tempting, but I don't think I will. Anyway, it's time to bust out the camera and let's talk about some details. Winter is the perfect time to get some really, really cool close-up shots. So I just did one there. I'll pop it up on the screen. Basically, while I was walking around, I just saw this piece of grass that had one bit that was kind of curved around and it was being weighed down by the snow. It looked super cool. So I zoomed in, just focused on that in the background. And yeah, I admittedly don't do a huge amount of macro shots, but I like to zoom in and focus on elements of the landscape while I'm out and about. I'll throw up a couple of shots that I've taken in and around this area today. There's one area over here where there was rocks, and the grey and the brown of the rock against the white snow and ice looked super cool. So if that image came out, I'll throw it up now. But yeah, get creative. Don't be afraid to experiment. Experiment with shutter speeds, water, ice, and yeah, it doesn't always have to be that big dramatic landscape, especially if you live in a place like Manitoba where you don't have massive mountains readily available to you. So you kind of have no other option but to look a little bit differently. I'm gonna head back. I think we should head back to the truck and have some lunch. Refresh. Why not? Let's go. This is going to be my first time ever. This will be fun. Hearty beef stew with gravy. Smells good, that's for sure. Pulls up. Oh yeah. Stir carefully and close zipper. Wait 5 minutes. Stir again and reseal. So I did not stir it. Let's do that. Yeah. I should probably show you this, shouldn't I? So, Rubel commented on a video saying more snacks. So, Rubel, this one's for you. Handy little pot, this, all the same. This is what we got. Not sure it was exactly what I was expecting, but this is my first time trying this type of food, so. I bet worse, I suppose. I use a drone regularly when I'm shooting these videos to give you guys a different perspective. I also use it to scout the location prior, and yeah, it just gives you a whole different perspective. When it snows, it changes the landscape in its entirety, and it transforms it, and you can get some really, really cool shots. So yeah, that's a tip. Use a drone. Tip is to be careful where you're walking, especially a blanket of fresh snow, and you're trying to get a shot. The last thing you want is your footprints all in the photos. Now, in saying that, it can be interesting depending on the shot that you're taking as well. I'll put a shot up here where I actually deliberately walked a trail to a tree because I had no other leading lines, and I wanted to create this leading line towards the tree that I was photographing. So yeah, there's another tip for you. Well, another hike done in the bag. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. It's just some of my tips for winter landscape photography, and yeah, if you got any comments or feedback, feel free to drop them in the comment section below. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so, and yeah, until the next video, who knows where we're going to end up.